Thank you very much, Corrine. With us right now from New York, Vikki Ziegler. Vikki's a family law attorney, and also in New York, Deborah Opry, who is a family law attorney. Let me start with you, Deborah. What do you think is going to happen in that courtroom today? Because it's going to be jail or it's going to be rehab for Lindsay.
I don't agree with that. I think the judge is going to say she's in Betty Ford. I think he's going to take some recommendations of the representatives from Betty Ford to see how she's doing. I don't think they really say 30 days is enough out there. I think they push as a standard 90 days. My intelligent guess would be that he's going to continue this hearing for 60 days right before the Christmas holidays, perhaps December 20th, 21st, and he's going to say, we'll see you here in 60 days to see your status of rehab, and then we'll revisit your violation of the drug testing from a month ago. And frankly, okay. AJ, frankly, if it is working at the Betty Ford Center, don't interfere with that. That's my guess.
No, I think everybody's in agreement on that. So instead of a court-mandated rehab, you think they may just have her stay where she is and not mess with it. Obviously, this feels like deja vu to all of us today. Let's go to the Showbiz Newsline to see exactly how it is that Lindsay Lohan is back in court today. Lindsay was arrested twice back in 2007, of course. She was arrested both times for DUI. The second time, she was also charged with cocaine possession. Early May 2010, Lindsay blows off a scheduled DUI progress report hearing. A bench warrant is issued for her arrest, and she posts bail. On May 24th, you all remember when the judge orders Lindsay to wear a Scram monitoring bracelet for alcohol consumption. July 6th, Lindsay is ordered to serve 90 days in jail and 90 days in rehab for violating her probation. A lot of tears were shed on that day by Lindsay. And of course, July 20th of this year, Lindsay appears in court and is taken into custody. But of course, there's more, Brooke.
Yeah, this girl's got quite a rap sheet.
This is unbelievable. I'm reading this and I'm exhausted.
Yeah, here we go. Early August, Lindsay is released from jail because of overcrowding. Her rehab stint at UCLA Medical Center ends after just 23 days instead of the court-ordered 90 days. Lindsay fails a drug test mid-September. The judge in her case sends Lohan back to jail, but just 14 hours and $300,000 in bail later, Lindsay Lohan is free as a bird again. It was then that Lindsay voluntarily checked herself into that Betty Ford Rehab Center. So, Vikki, first of all, I'm exhausted from reviewing what's happened in Lindsay's case in just the last 6 months. What do you think the judge is going to do with Lindsay today?
I think this judge has a very hard decision, and let me tell you why. When there's a person that's really trying to focus on therapy, if she really is trying to get better and trying to exercise her demons and really beat this drug and maybe alcohol problem that she has, and if the representatives from the Betty Ford Clinic say that she's doing well, nobody wants to interrupt that. The problem is, clearly, by her tweets, she had a dirty drug test. I don't think she's going to fight the fact that she actually came up positive for drugs, potentially cocaine. That means this judge has to determine whether or not she violated the terms of probation, which she clearly did. So I think he may say, you know what, Lindsay, you violated the terms. You're admitting it. I don't think it's going to be a hearing today. 30-day jail term, but I'm going to suspend it. You go back to rehab. Let's see how you do in 30, 45, 60 days, and then we'll make a decision as to whether or not you're actually going to serve a day in jail. I feel like if he doesn't do that, she will continually get away with everything that she's doing, sending a terrible message to the court system and to these people, the young people out there. And I think I think he has to do that, but who knows? I've been wrong before, usually right, but sometimes you never know.
I think he's just going to make it a 60-day order. I think that's just going to be a firm 60-day order.
When she checked into the Betty Ford Clinic, everybody was saying, you know, while she voluntarily checked in, that's how it appeared, she didn't come up with that decision on her own. It wasn't something she did. It was something that her people, her lawyer, probably said, go do this because it's going to look good.
And even when she was tweeting about having a substance abuse problem and working hard to overcome that, a lot of people said she didn't craft those tweets herself. So people have been skeptical.
And regardless of what the motivation was, Deborah Opry, I want to ask you, it was a smart move for her to check herself into that Betty Ford Clinic voluntarily, wasn't it, in terms of making a difference before the judge and trying to show that she is trying to help herself?
Well, AJ, Charlie Sheen did the same thing, and I agree with Vikki. A sentencing has to come. I don't think it's in Judge Eldon Fox's best interest today to make a sentencing. I think he should suspend or delay any further hearing on this matter until the conclusion of her rehab to see what she's doing. Because needless to say, it may have been a smart move for her to do the standard celebrity thing of, well, I'm going to check into rehab before he sends me to his rehab place and locks me in there. If he can lock her in and say this was working so far for 30 days, I'm going to lock you in and I'm going to order you to remain there for 60 days so he can keep control of the situation so she can't check herself out, then it's a good thing. And it's a good thing what she did and he did. Long story short, I just don't agree with Vikki that he's going to make any sentencing decisions today because, frankly, she needs 60 days more to prove to the court where she is with her drug problem.
But Debbie, we don't even know what her progress has been. Maybe she's not going to mandated therapy.
She hasn't left.
Well, she did try to go get a Coke, I think, Coca-Cola, but we don't know what her progress has been. So, you know, we have a lot of suppositions here, and we really don't know. The judge knows now, and we're waiting to see what he's going to do.
Vikki and I agree with
Vikki,
one thing.
You think, Vikki, what do you agree on?
We
Deborah?
agree on one thing, that rehab center is going to be the place that Lindsay stays for the time being.
The immediate place. But, Vikki, you think the judge should hang that threat of jail immediately over Lindsay's head for the future in case she doesn't pull it together in rehab, right?
Brooke, absolutely. I mean, look what she's done. It took 10 minutes to read her rap sheet. I mean, where is the girl going? I mean, she has to know that there is a hard end line here. You cannot continually violate probation. This goes back from a DUI from 2007.
I'm going to jump in because we have to end it there, but we're obviously going to keep an eye and see. Is it going to be jail? Is it going to be rehab for Lindsay Lohan this morning? Deborah Opie, Vikki Ziegler, thank you very much. Appreciate it.